Rick Jones, when George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin, he was not a police officer, but he was a would-be vigilante. And he encountered Trayvon Martin. And in his defense, when he killed this young man, part of his defense was that I feared for my life, that I had to use this force because, and he builds up this Trayvon, who was half his weight. And Trayvon was unarmed, he had the gun, and yet the jury bought it, that I feared for my life and I had to use this force because of like most Black guys, he was superhuman, he was on something. I mean, that's part of the dehumanization process that allows this to continue and allows police officers to be acquitted when they have clearly misused their power. Rick.
I think that the time is long past for reform. I mean, I think we really are at a place now where we have to not only transform, but really work to dismantle the systemic and structural racism and mechanisms that foster and propagate and perpetuate the kinds of things that you're talking about. And so, in a way, you know, I can't really be all that concerned about sort of white people's fears and sort of, you know, what sort of rationalizations are being used and how we sort of overcome implicit bias. I think all those things are important and necessary, but really and truly, I mean, I think the moral arc of the universe is long. I think it does bend towards justice, but for me anyway, the clock is ticking, and I think we really need to get about the business of long-term. We're in this sort of dynamic moment right now in this country, and I think, you know, Gina's right. I mean, 25 million or more people have gone into the streets. We really have to be sort of thinking about you know, really sort of systemic and structural change, transformative change, and what that means for me, because I think that one of the voices that has sort of been unappreciated and unheard for so long, you know, since Gideon and even before, is the voice of the public defender. And I think that when we started this conversation and we were talking about, you know, Jason and representing sort of the system, I think that the system, you know, there's three sort of independent aspects of our adversarial system. There's the judiciary, there's the prosecutor, and then there's the defense. And really 80% or more of all the people in this country who are represented by public defenders. And the public defender voice has really been unheard and unappreciated. And I think that one of the things that we talk about at NDS in my organization is the power of public defense. And really, if you have client-centered, community-based, holistic team defense in every sort of region of this country that is well-resourced and able to really combat the evils that we see in our system, you would, if we had been doing that from the very beginning, you would see less, you know, mass incarceration and over-criminalization and all the evils we have with pretrial detention and disparate sentencing and every sort of step of the way. I think if you really had a well-oiled and a well-resourced public defense system, you would begin to make those changes. But I also think at NDS, we're now thinking about next generation sort of thinking. And that's where the NDS PACE program came from, the Police Accountability and Community Empowerment, because I think that one of the things that public defenders, particularly at NDS, has learned from our sort of the relationships we have with our clients, sort of the front row view to the oppression and the disparate treatment, is that not only do we understand sort of how policing and how the racism in the system works, but we have the necessary skills to begin to dismantle it. We have the necessary skills to begin to change the way policing happens in this country. And so it's not only the things that Gina talked about, and really understanding and how to go about dismantling policing and changing it. But it's also the community empowerment piece, and really sort of going in and being an ally and being an asset to communities as they begin to heal, and then learn how to sort of exercise that self-determination that we know that is required for them to be able to breathe. And so I think that in addition to the sort of understanding the policing aspect of it, we really have to be about the business of empowering our communities, of working in our communities, and being an asset and an ally, and helping people to understand community empowerment, and to really sort of self-determine. I mean, people, when they call the police, they don't want badge and gun solutions. They want care and repair solutions. That's what they want. And they have to be able to sort of understand and determine how those resources are used in their communities, and be able to speak to that from a perspective of strength and balance, and not sort of be at the under the sort of boot or the knee of policing. And I think so. I think Gina's right. We really have to be about transformation, and we really have to be as much focused on community empowerment and self-determination as we are about the really transformative structural change that has to happen as well.